Releasing on August 15th is Agents of Mayhem from the creators of Saints Row. Pre-order at the affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater, and this is a bit of a departure from movie news. I generally don't like to comment on gossip as I see it, but this is something that's been bothering me for the past couple days, and when I came across this article, I really wanted just to talk about it. I want to talk about it from the perspective of a person who has lived in Los Angeles, worked in Hollywood, worked in the system, known people who have kind of gone through similar things, and also as a person who, again, is in a similar situation myself, not anywhere near the prospect of it, but definitely in something similar. So what you have here are insider claims that Anna Faris and Chris Pratt split for a very simple and albeit common reason in Los Angeles. These guys were together for 8 years, 8 or 9 years. They were together for a long time. Happy couple, met on the set of Take Me Home Tonight, a very underrated comedy. I think you can find it on Netflix. But here's what it's saying. TMZ thinks they've uncovered it by saying that there was no cheating involved, nor was there any huge fight or unforgivable transgression or really any kind of drama, which is ultimately what I anticipated. Looking at Anna Faris and looking at Chris Pratt from their relationship to where they are now, there's never been any kind of fights. There's never been any kind of speculation. You know, you hear about like Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce, Brad Pitt cheating on Angelina Jolie, also cheating on Jennifer Aniston with Angelina Jolie. I mean, like, celebrity couples are oftentimes doomed to fail. We anticipate this. They get about a 2-year shelf life in some respects. Oftentimes when people that are in the same industry get together and they're competing for the spotlight, that can be the big cause of it. In fact, that's pretty much the reason here. The reason for the breakup was simple. Faris and Pratt have both changed since they got married in 2009, and now they have different ideas for what they want for their family and their futures. And these things happen when people begin to separate based upon, their career paths. Faris wants a family that is pretty much together most of the time. She wants a base, which for her has been Los Angeles, and she wants more kids. Now, Faris is on the CBS show Mom, and because of her being on a sitcom on a network, filmed in Los Angeles, she is based in LA. Her life is there. Her son is there. Chris would be there with her. That would be kind of, landlocked to Los Angeles. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Meanwhile, Pratt has had some life-changing experiences that has required him to adjust the balance between family and career. When he married Anna back in 2009, she was much bigger than him. He's now at the top of the Hollywood food chain, and with that comes opportunities that take him all over the world. Shooting movies that take him away from home for months at a time. Also saying that Pratt doesn't want more kids right now since he's already have a hard enough time juggling his career and his one son, Jack. Also going on to say here that they were, as they're reportedly prepping to file for divorce, they're still close, and their legal split was as amicable as it could get. And that is the sad truth of the life, man. Like, I love movies. I love the industry. I love the business side of it. I love the personal side of it. I like it all. I think it's very fascinating on a multitude of levels. But this is something that is shocking to me because you see this sort of thing and you wouldn't expect it to happen with someone as likable as Chris Pratt and likable as Anna Faris, but it makes absolute sense. As I said, she's landlocked in LA with her show. He is arguably the most popular or one of the most popular leading men in Hollywood right now. And as a result of that, he has these opportunities to go shoot all these movies. But if you want my honest opinion as to probably what was the key cause of this, I would argue that it would be the failure of Passengers that came out last Christmas. And I know that sounds odd, but kind of follow the line here. So Chris Pratt basically came on the scene in a prominent way with Parks and Rec from back in the day, playing lovable goofus Andy Dwyer for 7 seasons. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. I love his work that he did on there. And then through that, he ended up going and getting smaller roles. He was popping up in different movies all over the place as small side characters. And then as a result, that led into him being one of the SEALs that went and took out Osama bin Laden in Catherine Bigelow's 2012 epic Zero Dark 30. Now, when Zero Dark 30 came out, he had kind of buffed up a little bit. He had lost some of the weight, which was reflected in Parks and Rec. And then he also, kind of showed off he had the charisma and the style. And I think right around that time, he had gotten cast in Guardians of the Galaxy because he just happened to have the charisma and like, you know, the looks and everything else that James Gunn wanted for Star-Lord. And at the time when you're a relative unknown, and let's face it, he was a relative unknown, Guardians of the Galaxy really propelled him up to up towards the top. And then of course came Jurassic World a year later, and Jurassic World just, you know, $1.5 billion, now making him the star of a brand new franchise that's you know, that's enough to rival the Avengers. So much so that when Jurassic World outdid Avengers Age of Ultron, you know, Marvel sent them over a little note saying, hey, good job for knocking us off the top spot, you know. And then Chris Pratt now has all of this, all of these abilities to do more movies. He's got all these options and everything else. And so, you know, he did a Magnificent Seven because it's more of an ensemble, probably unsure about being the leading man on his own. And that makes a lot of sense. And then comes Passengers being the big movie featuring Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, and the two of them in this kind of like sci-fi sexy drama, this, you know, and the movie fell flat. And he was, you know, he was dubbed a kind of a creeper character. And even Jennifer Lawrence came out and addressed some of the criticism, saying that, well, she's happy with the movie, but it just didn't tend to kind of hit the notes that either of them wanted to hit. And I think that might have actually had a bit of an impact on Chris Pratt's ego at the time. And again, I am purely speculating, and at no point am I trying to assign blame. I'm trying to understand this from my own perspective, and talking about it's kind of how I do these things. And so, again, my speculation is that looking at how Passengers failed to connect, and Passengers failed to elevate the star of either Jennifer Lawrence or Chris Pratt, the two at the top of their game at that moment in time, and Sony spent so much money trying to get that movie done, and it ended up just not connecting, really damaged the ego. And as a result of that, Chris then feels the need to push his career harder. He did Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He did Avengers Infinity War. He's doing Jurassic World, which is our Jurassic World 2, which is already finished filming. Avengers Infinity War is already finished filming. And I don't know if he's going to be in an Avengers 4. And then he's also got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that's supposedly going to start shooting next year. So he's in this very much influx mode with his career that is going to take him away from home for a long period of time. And while his wife is, if she wasn't working, if she wasn't on the show, Anna Faris could come and be with him, with Jack, and head over to where he's at and he's filming. And I think she's done that before she was on the show, and vice versa. He could then be based in Los Angeles, maybe get a job on another show that would keep him local and with his family. And you can see just the careers, they both are going to separate directions. And the reason why I said at the beginning of this, where it's kind of like, you know, I find myself in a similar situation, is like, you know, I own a home, I have a kid on the way, and my career, it requires me to work all the time. And then my fear is that when it comes to juggling that responsibility and those commitments as well, will I be able to do it? And I look at a situation like this, and it makes me cautious for the future. It makes me question how I'm going to approach things, how I'm going to handle situations for not only you know, my career, but the, you know, my relationship with my daughter, my relationship with my girlfriend, and everything we've built together over the course of the past 8.5 years. So again, these are things that like I'm thinking about, and I wanted to talk about it here. And again, this is movie Hollywood based kind of stuff, and I'm not trying to speculate too much. I know I have quite a bit, but I'm not saying there's a fault here. It does appear to be very amicable. I happen to be very big fans of both Anna Faris and Chris Pratt. I respect them greatly, and that's why I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there about this, because I feel like it's one of those things that that it requires understanding and sympathy and empathy to fully process and then to look at. You know, we tend to look at Hollywood breakups as you know, one of those things, one of those factors where it's, you know, there's cheating, there's drugs, there's drama, and then this doesn't have that. But what this is about people that have been together for a long time splitting apart, and their careers and their families are going in different directions. And it just seems like the best course of action for everybody involved. And to which case, I hope that they take a time and they realize that they do love each other and that they find a way to make it work. And maybe it might be time for Chris Pratt to, you know, to, once he gets back on the top of his game, to not worry so much about that, to know that you have a fan base, you have a loyal fan base that loves you and that will go see your movies. And then also to make sure that you can do more stuff that's based out of being in Los Angeles. Although, let's face it, they don't make movies in Los Angeles anymore because it's too freaking expensive. But What do you guys think about this? Do you think that my theories are completely out there? Do you think my theories are maybe a bit more accurate? Am I just talking out my ass? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.